Part 1 focuses on using adjectives to express how you feel. Let's look at the most essential patterns. Our first pattern is, I can't thank you enough for. We use this when a simple thank you is not enough. It shows deep and polite gratitude. For example, if a colleague helped you get a job, you can say, I can't thank you enough for offering me a position at your company. Or if someone gave you great guidance, I can't thank you enough for the great advice you have given me. Pattern number 2 is, that's very kind of you, but saying just no to an offer can sound a bit harsh. This pattern lets you refuse politely by adding a gentle reason. If someone offers to drive you home, but you want to walk, say, that's very kind of you, but I prefer to walk. Or at a dinner party, that's very kind of you, but I don't eat meat. Pattern number 3 is, I couldn't be happier about. This means your happiness is at its absolute maximum. When winter finally ends, you can smile and say, I couldn't be happier about the warm weather. Or to celebrate a friend, I couldn't be happier for my best friend who just got his dream job. Now let's move to worrying and apologizing. Pattern number 4 is, I'm concerned about. This is a slightly more formal and serious way to say, I am worried about, for instance, I'm concerned about the bad air quality. Or regarding children, I'm concerned about video game addiction. In young children, pattern number 5 is, I apologize for. When you make a mistake at work, saying I'm sorry might feel too casual. Using apologize keeps things professional. You can say, I apologize for missing my appointment. Or if your group arrives late, we apologize for arriving late to the dinner. Pattern number 6 is, I'm sick of. When a situation is repetitive and annoying, you are sick of it. Imagine doing endless chores. I'm sick of doing the dishes 3 times a day. Or dealing with a bad attitude, I'm sick of your negativity. Pattern number 7 is, sorry to say, but this is the best pattern to use. When you have to deliver bad news or an unpleasant truth. On a bad date, you might say, sorry to say, but I don't think we are compatible. Or at a restaurant. Sorry to say, but this is one of the worst meals I have ever had. Pattern number 8 is, what's worse is. We use this when a bad situation gets even worse. For example, what's worse is when my phone and laptop break on the same day. Next is, I'm suspicious of. Use this when a situation feels shady or hard to trust. Regarding online shopping, I'm suspicious of deals that seem too good to be true. Or regarding spam, I'm suspicious of emails claiming that I have won a big prize. Pattern number 10 is, there's a good chance that. This simply means something is very likely to happen. You can say there's a good chance that we are going trekking tomorrow, or for work. There's a good chance that I will be taking a business trip to Singapore next month. Our final pattern is, I'm willing to. Being willing means you have a strong, voluntary intention to do something. It shows great teamwork. When your office is busy, say I'm willing to work overtime. Or to help a friend, I'm willing to drive over an hour to pick her up. That wraps up part 1. Practice speaking these sentences out loud. Part 2 focuses on using basic verbs to build versatile patterns. Let's look at the most essential patterns. Our first pattern is, I feel like. We use this to talk about what we want or how we view a situation. For example, when you want a light meal, I feel like eating something light such as a salad. Or expressing a connection with someone, I feel like you and I are really compatible. Pattern number 2 is, feel free to. This is a warm and welcoming way to tell someone they can do something without any burden. When inviting a friend, say, feel free to bring your boyfriend to the party as well. Or sharing your items, feel free to borrow some books from my collection. Pattern number 3 is, it takes a while to. We use this when an action requires a good amount of time to complete. Regarding your daily travel, it takes a while to commute to work from my new apartment. Or learning a hobby, it takes a while to learn how to play an instrument. Pattern number 4 is I take after my. Use this idiom when you look or behave like a family member. You can say, I take after my father, who is very tall and slender. Or talking about personality, I take after my mother, who loved flowers. Pattern number 5 is I took it for granted that. This expresses regret over assuming something good would last forever. In a relationship, you might say, I took it for granted that she would always be there for me. Or to a partner, I took it for granted that you would never forget our anniversary. Pattern number 6 is I'm looking forward to. This is the standard way to show excitement for a future event. To a friend, say, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you next weekend. Or for an event, I'm looking forward to the annual music festival. Pattern number 7 is I'm looking into. This phrasal verb means you are actively researching or considering an option. Regarding your education, I'm looking into going back to school. Or for travel, I'm looking into spending a year abroad in Europe. Pattern number 8 is I look up to. This simply means you deeply respect someone. For instance, I look up to those who do volunteer work regularly. Or generally, I look up to people who are always willing to lend a helping hand. Pattern number 9 is I don't get. This is a natural, informal way to say I do not understand. Regarding a joke, I don't get his humor. Or a mood, I don't get why everyone is annoyed. Pattern number 10 is I try to get the most out of. Use this when you try to maximize the value or benefit of an opportunity. For travel, I try to get the most out of my trips by joining walking tours. Or personal finance, I try to get the most out of my money by following a monthly budget. Pattern number 11 is I can't seem to. This is a very native way to express that. You keep trying to do something, but keep failing. Regarding habits, I can't seem to stick to a diet. Or losing things, I can't seem to find my phone. Our final pattern is let me know whether or not. We use this to politely ask someone to confirm their decision. After lending a novel, say, let me know whether or not you enjoyed the book. Or regarding plans, let me know whether or not you will be joining us. That wraps up part 2. Practice speaking these sentences out loud. Part 3 focuses on using question patterns to keep your conversations flowing naturally. Let's look at the most essential patterns. Our first pattern is, what do you say? We use this to suggest an idea and ask for someone's opinion. For example, when deciding on dinner, what do you say we order in tonight? Or suggesting an outdoor activity. I want to go on a hike. What do you say? Pattern number 2 is, what do you mean by? This is used to ask for the specific meaning behind someone's words or actions. When someone suddenly ends a phone call, say, what do you mean by hanging up while I was still talking? Or questioning unexpected edits. What do you mean by making all these changes without consulting me? Pattern number 3 is, what's the difference? Use this when comparing 2 or more similar things to understand how they differ. At a coffee shop, you might ask, what's the difference between pour-over and drip coffee? Or regarding seating, what's the difference whether I sit here or by the window? Pattern number 4 is, when are you expecting? This pattern asks when a specific event is anticipated to happen. Regarding job interviews, when are you expecting to hear about your interview results? Or waiting for a package? When are you expecting your new audio system to arrive? Pattern number 5 is, when was the last time? We use this to ask when someone last performed a certain action. To a busy friend, ask, when was the last time you slept in? Or checking on car maintenance. When was the last time you had the engine serviced? Pattern number 6 is, where's a good place? This is a natural way to ask for recommendations. On locations or shops. In a new city, ask, where's a good place for celebrity sightings? Or planning an outing? Where's a good place for a first date? Pattern number 7 is, why wouldn't you? Use this to ask why someone did not do something they could. or should have done. To a hard worker, say, why wouldn't you ask for a raise? Or regarding a missed visit, why wouldn't you answer the door this morning? Pattern number 8 is, how do you suggest? This asks for someone's advice on the best method to handle a task. Regarding shared costs, how do you suggest we split the monthly expenses? Or improving work, how do you suggest I make improvements to the slide presentation? Pattern number 9 is, how do you like? We use this to ask for someone's thoughts or impressions about something, asking about a lifestyle change. How do you like living in the suburbs? Or asking about breakfast preferences. How do you like your eggs for breakfast? Pattern number 10 is, I was wondering if. This is a very polite and soft way to ask a question or make a request. When asking for a favor, I was wondering if I could borrow your car this weekend. Or asking to meet, I was wondering if you had time to meet me today. Pattern number 11 is, if you don't mind. Use this to politely state your preference or ask a sensitive question. When you need a moment alone, if you don't mind, I'd rather be alone right now. Or asking something private if you don't mind. Can I ask you a personal question? Our final pattern is, would it be possible to? This is a courteous way to ask if something can be done. At a hotel, you can ask, would it be possible to cancel my reservation? Or requesting written proof. Would it be possible to receive confirmation by email? Practice speaking these sentences out loud. Part 4 focuses on negative expression patterns. To help you refuse or disagree clearly, let's look at the most essential patterns. Our first pattern is, there's no need to. We use this to tell someone that an action is unnecessary. For example, regarding food, there's no need to buy any more groceries. Or giving advice, there's no need to be greedy. Pattern number 2 is, it's no use. This expresses that doing a certain action will not change the outcome. Regarding a stubborn person, it's no use trying to talk to him. Or regarding mistakes, it's no use complaining about it now. Pattern number 3 is, I had no choice but to. Use this to emphasize that you were forced into a situation with no other options. Regarding business, I had no choice but to accept a lower offer. Or personal matters, I had no choice but to ask my parents for help. Pattern number 4 is, no offense, but this is a useful phrase to soften direct criticism or honest feedback. On a date, you might say, no offense, but he just isn't my type. Or during a discussion. No offense, but you're missing the point. Pattern number 5 is, I never meant to. We use this to explain that an unintended negative result was not our original goal. When apologizing, I never meant to cause you trouble. Or regarding arguments, I never meant to get involved in the dispute. Pattern number 6 is, I have nothing to do with. This clearly states that you are completely uninvolved in a problem or situation. At work, say I have nothing to do with the ongoing office drama. Or generally, I have nothing to do with the matter in any way. Pattern number 7 is, I'm not in favor of. This is a gentle, polite way to state your disagreement or disapproval. Regarding health, I'm not in favor of one-food diets. Or parenting, I'm not in favor of giving children unlimited screen time. Pattern number 8 is, I can't stand. Use this strong expression when you extremely dislike something or can no longer endure it. Regarding weather, I can't stand the freezing cold. Or social situations I can't stand. Having to make meaningless small talk. Pattern number 9 is, I don't mean to. But we use this to prevent misunderstandings before saying something direct. At a meeting, say I don't mean to interrupt, but someone is at the door. Or giving advice, I don't mean to offend you, but you really need a haircut. Pattern number 10 is, the last thing. This native idiom describes the absolute last thing you want to do, meaning you strongly dislike it. To encourage a friend, say, the last thing I want to do is discourage you. Or regarding worries, The last thing I need is another mouth to feed. Pattern number 11 is I'm fed up with. Use this when you are completely tired of a repeating, frustrating situation. Regarding finances, I'm fed up with rising food prices or living situations. I'm fed up with my roommate playing loud music every night. Our final pattern is you're not allowed to. We use this to clearly state that an action is strictly forbidden by rules or laws. At a pool, say, you're not allowed to run on the pool deck. Or during tests, you're not allowed to use a calculator. During the math exam, that wraps up part 4. Practice speaking these sentences out loud. Part 5 focuses on using auxiliary verbs to add subtle and precise meanings to your sentences. Let's look at the most essential patterns. Our first pattern is I could never. We use this strong negative expression to state that we are completely unable to do something. Regarding dietary habits, say I could never abstain from sweets. Or regarding family, I could never bear to disappoint my children. Pattern number 2 is couldn't be better. This emphasizes that a situation or object is at its absolute best. When receiving a well-timed phone call, say the timing of your call couldn't be better. Or evaluating food, this dessert couldn't be better. Pattern number 3 is I couldn't agree more with. Use this to show complete agreement with someone's opinion or decision. During a discussion, you can say I couldn't agree more with what was just said. Or regarding news, I couldn't agree more with the article about corrupt corporations. Pattern number 4 is I couldn't help. This explains that you had no choice but to perform a certain action in the past. Regarding joy, say I couldn't help laughing in delight. Or regarding conversations, I couldn't help overhearing the argument. Pattern number 5 is I might as well. We use this when choosing the best remaining option among several choices, often with the feeling of resignation. Regarding morning plans, say I might as well sleep in. Or regarding difficult tasks, I might as well give up. Pattern number 6 is I may have. This expresses a cautious guess about something that happened in the past. When searching for lost items, say I may have left my wallet at the gym. Or reflecting on an interview, I may have given the interviewer a bad first impression. Pattern number 7 is I think I should. This is a soft and polite way to state what you plan or need to do. At a meeting, say I think I should get straight to the point. Or regarding health, I think I should see a dentist as soon as possible. Pattern number 8 is should have. Use this to express regret or criticism about an action that was not done in the past. Regarding office work, say the report should have been submitted yesterday. Or regarding curfews, you should have been home by 10 p.m. Pattern number 9 is would you mind if I. This is a very courteous way to ask for permission before doing something. At work, ask, would you mind if I took the day off tomorrow? Or regarding audio, would you mind if I turned the volume down? Pattern number 10 is it wouldn't hurt to. We use this to gently suggest an idea, explaining that doing it will cause no harm. Before a test, suggest it wouldn't hurt to review the material. Again, before the exam. Or for travel, it wouldn't hurt to pack a first aid kit for the trip. Pattern number 11 is I've gotta. This is a strong, informal expression used to state that you really must do something. Running errands, say I've got to swing by home to feed the cats. Or regarding fitness, I've got to start working out again. Our final pattern is you'd be better off. We use this to give helpful advice by comparing options and stating which one is superior. Regarding traffic, say you'd be better off not driving during rush hour. Or regarding major life decisions, you'd be better off speaking with the school counselor before making any drastic decisions. That wraps up part 5. Practice speaking these sentences out loud. Part 6 focuses on using native idiom patterns to make your English sound natural and advanced. Let's look at the most essential patterns. Our first pattern is take my word for it. We use this to tell someone they should completely trust. Our advice or information regarding health say, take my word for it. Fad diets lead to inconsistent weight loss. Or recommending food. Take my word for it. There are much better Mexican restaurants in town. Pattern number 2 is, I'm not cut out for. This idiom means you are naturally unsuited for a certain activity or role. Regarding career preferences, say, I'm not cut out for a 9-to-5 job. For personal life, I'm not cut out for long-distance relationships. Pattern number 3 is, I'm on the fence about. Use this when you are undecided or hesitating between two choices. Regarding big purchases, say, I'm on the fence about purchasing an electric car. Or career moves, I'm on the fence about whether or not to take the job. Pattern number 4 is, I ended up. We use this to describe an unplanned or unexpected final outcome of a situation. Regarding weekend plans, say, I ended up going to the movie theater alone. Or shopping, I ended up trading my old phone in for the latest model. Pattern number 5 is, it depends on. This explains that a result is determined or influenced by a specific condition. Regarding evening plans, say, it depends on what's for dinner. Or philosophy. It depends on your definition of success. Pattern number 6 is, I'm having trouble. Use this when you face a problem that makes a task difficult to solve or continue. Regarding health, say I'm having trouble sleeping through the night. Or furniture, I'm having trouble assembling the bed frame. Pattern number 7 is, I'm in charge of. This is the standard way to state your official responsibility or assigned duty. At work, say I'm in charge of the company's marketing department. Or organizing events, I'm in charge of planning. The year-end office party. Pattern number 8 is, the bottom line is that. We use this to emphasize the final conclusion or the most important core message. Regarding wellness, say the bottom line is that eating a balanced diet is the key to good health. Or dating, the bottom line is that I'm not ready for a serious relationship. Pattern number 9 is, not my cup of tea. This is a soft and polite way to say that something is simply not your personal taste. Regarding exercise, say Pilates is not my cup of tea. Or literature, I love to read, but self-help books are not my cup of tea. Pattern number 10 is, I'm getting the hang of. Use this when you are gradually learning the proper way or skill to do something. Playing games, say I'm getting the hang of this new board game. Or dancing, I'm getting the hang of the new dance routine. Pattern number 11 is, I'm dying to. This expresses an extreme, eager desire to do something immediately. Regarding school, say I'm dying to graduate and to start earning money. Or family, I'm dying to introduce you to my extended family. Our final pattern is just around the corner. We use this idiom to state that an event is happening very soon, or a place is very close. Regarding holidays, say Thanksgiving is just around the corner. Or offering encouragement, cheer up. I'm sure better days are just around the corner. That wraps up part 6. Practice speaking these sentences out loud. Part 7 focuses on using advanced grammar patterns to make your sentences more sophisticated. Let's look at the most essential patterns. Our first pattern is, as I said before, we use this to repeat or emphasize something we already mentioned. For example, regarding schedules, as I said, before, I am going to be busy all week. Or regarding health advice, as I said, before, you should take care of your health. Pattern number 2 is, as far as I know. This is used when you speak based on the limited knowledge you currently have. Regarding events, as far as I know, the family dinner has been postponed. Or weather, as far as I know, it's going to be hot and humid for the rest of the week. Pattern number 3 is, while this may be true, use this when you admit a statement is correct, but want to point out a contrasting side. At work, say, while this may be true, she violated several company policies. Or regarding decisions. While this may be true, There is a need for the process to be more transparent. Pattern number 4 is, I'm with you on that, but we use this to agree with someone's opinion first, before sharing a different view. Regarding complaints, say I'm with you on that, but he needs to get his point across calmly. Or family plans, I'm with you on that, but it's mom's birthday, and this is what she wants. Pattern number 5 is, now that. This explains that a new condition has been met, making a certain action possible. Regarding meals, say, now that all the food has been delivered, let's eat. Or regarding free time, now that you've done your homework, you can go over to your friend's house. Pattern number 6 is once. Use this to describe a specific result that will happen right after a condition is fulfilled. Regarding driving, once she gets the hang of driving, she will drive herself to work. Or office events. Once employees read the email, they'll be convinced to participate in the event. Pattern number 7 is in case. We use this to prepare for a situation that might happen in the future. For bad weather, say, in case of inclement weather, the picnic will be rescheduled to a later date. Or hosting guests in case you need more towels. There are some in the cabinet upstairs. Pattern number 8 is by the time. This describes the state of a situation by the moment another event happens. Regarding deliveries, say, by the time the package is delivered, it will be too late. Or dating. By the time he got around to contacting her again, she wouldn't answer his calls. Pattern number 9 is, it's no wonder that. Use this to state that a certain outcome is completely natural and unsurprising. Regarding excitement, say it's no wonder that he's so excited. Or workplaces, it's no wonder that they are having a hard time retaining employees. Pattern number 10 is, it goes without saying that. This emphasizes an obvious fact that everyone already agrees on. Regarding school, say, it goes without saying that I'm looking forward to finally graduating. Or workplace etiquette. It goes without saying that colleagues should treat one another with mutual respect and civility. Pattern number 11 is, it's about time that. We use this to show relief or impatience about an event that was delayed. Regarding chores, say, it's about time that you got your car washed. Or meals. It's about time that you started packing your own lunches. Our final pattern is more than I thought. This describes how an actual situation differed from your initial expectation. Regarding health, say the virus was more contagious than I thought. Or road trips. The drive from Seoul to Busan took much longer than I thought. That wraps up part 7. Practice speaking these sentences out loud, and congratulations on completing the entire pattern challenge. Bonus part, leading a strategy meeting. Thank you for joining today. I can't thank you enough for making time for this meeting. It's my pleasure to lead today's discussion. Our topic is simple, but the decision will not be simple. Today, we need to decide whether to launch the pilot project this year. We also need to agree on the first target market. And we need to check if our timeline is realistic. As far as I know, everyone has received the briefing note, so I will not read every detail. Instead, I will focus on 3 points. First, why this project matters. Second, what risks we should manage. Third, how we should move forward. The bottom line is this. The market is changing faster than we expected. Our competitors are already moving. Our partners are asking for a clear plan, and our customers want better service. There is a good chance that demand will grow next year, but demand alone is not enough. We need capacity. We need a working system. We need local partners, and we need trust. Now, let me start with the current situation. Over the last 6 months, we looked into 3 possible markets. We compared cost, regulation, user demand, and technical readiness. The first market has strong demand. But the licensing process is slow. The second market has good partners, but the expected revenue is still unclear. The third market has the best balance. It has demand, regulatory support, and a partner willing to share local data. So my first recommendation is this. We should start with the third market. I know some of you may have doubts about this. That is fair. The third market is not the largest one. But no offense, size is not the only point. A pilot project should not start where the market is biggest. It should start where the learning speed is highest. That is the difference between a pilot and a full launch. A full launch needs scale. A pilot needs speed, control, and feedback. Now, let's talk about risk. I am concerned about three things. First, the technical schedule. Second, local approval. Third, customer support after launch. The technical team says the system can be ready by October. I'm not sure if that schedule includes field testing, so I need to check if the testing period is already included. If it is not included, the schedule is too aggressive. It is no use launching early if the service is unstable. A bad launch creates a bad first impression, and we may have no choice but to spend months fixing trust. That is the last thing we need. Second, local approval. As I said before, regulation is not just paperwork. It shapes the whole business model. If approval takes longer than expected, the pilot will move into next year. By the time approval arrives, the budget plan may already change. In case approval is delayed, we should prepare a smaller technical trial. It can help us collect early data and keep the partner engaged. Third, customer support. This point may sound less exciting, but it goes without saying that support quality matters. If users have trouble connecting, they will not care about our strategy. They will care about one thing. Does it work? If it does not work, they will leave. So we need a local support process before launch, not after launch. Now, let me address a possible objection. Some people may say, why wouldn't we choose the largest market first? That is a reasonable question. I'm with you on that, but we should be careful. The largest market gives us visibility, but it also gives us more users, more regulation, more media attention, and more risk. While this may be true that a large market can bring a strong result, it can also expose weak points too early. For the first pilot, I would rather choose a market where we can learn fast and adjust fast. Now, what do you say we look at the timeline? If we agree today, we can finish partner talks by the end of next month. Once the partner confirms the data sharing plan, we can begin technical preparation. The system test can start in September. The user trial can begin in November. The final review can happen in December. That means we can decide on a full launch early next year. This timeline is possible, but it is not easy. It takes a while to build a stable pilot. It also takes time to train local staff. So I do not want us to pretend this is simple. I'm not in favor of announcing a launch date before the technical review. That would create pressure without giving us control. Instead, I suggest a staged plan. Confirm the partner, complete the technical test, run a small user trial, review the data, then decide whether to expand. This is slower than a bold announcement, but it is safer, and it gives us better evidence. Now, let's pause for a moment. If you don't mind, I would like to ask 3 questions. First, how do you suggest we reduce the approval risk? Second, what do you mean by minimum service quality? In the pilot phase? Third, would it be possible to prepare a draft support plan by next Friday? These questions are not formalities. They are decision points. Without answers, we are only guessing. I have doubts about any plan that depends only on optimism. We need a plan that can survive delay. We need a plan that can survive technical issues. We need a plan that can survive user complaints. That is the standard I want us to use. Now let me be direct. Sorry to say, but our first draft was too optimistic. The schedule was too clean. The risk section was too short. The cost estimate did not include enough field support. I apologize for not raising this earlier. I should have flagged it in the last meeting, but I wanted to check the data first. Now that I have checked it, I think we should revise the plan. This does not mean the project is weak. It means the plan needs to be stronger. A weak project should stop. A strong project with a weak plan should be improved. I believe this is the second case. The project still makes sense. The demand is real. The partner is serious. The technology is close. But the execution plan needs more discipline. Now let's look at resources. We cannot do everything at once. I know each department is already busy. Some teams are fed up with urgent requests. Some teams are having trouble keeping up with daily work. So we need to be realistic. There is no need to create a large new task force. We can start with a small core team. One person from strategy, one person from technology, one person from regulation, one person from customer support, one person from finance. The technology lead will check readiness. The regulation lead will track approval. The support lead will design the user process. The finance lead will update the cost model. And I will be in charge of overall coordination. If there is anything unclear, please let me know today. I would rather solve confusion now than fix mistakes later. Now, let me talk about communication. We should not send mixed messages to the partner. If we sound too confident, we may create false expectations. If we sound too cautious, we may lose momentum. So our message should be balanced. We are willing to proceed. We are willing to invest time. We are willing to test the market. But we are not willing to skip the technical review. We are not willing to ignore approval risk. And we are not willing to promise a full launch too early. Now, I want to make sure we are aligned. What's the difference between agreement and real alignment? Agreement means people say yes in the meeting. Alignment means people know what to do after the meeting. So before we close, I will summarize the action items. First, the technical team will look into field testing requirements. Please check if October is still realistic. Second, the regulation team will contact the local authority. Please confirm whether or not a limited user trial is possible. Third, the support team will prepare a draft user support process. Please include response time, language support, and escalation rules. Fourth, finance will update the cost estimate. Please include field support and partner coordination. And fifth, strategy will revise the proposal. I will take responsibility for that. If the updated proposal is ready by next Wednesday, we can review it internally. Once we approve it, we can share it with the partner. By the time we meet them again, we should have a stronger position. Now, I know this is a lot. It may feel overwhelming, but we are not starting from zero. We already have data. We already have a partner. We already have a basic technical path. We just need to make the plan more realistic. And to be honest, I feel better, knowing that this group is working on it. I look up to teams that can disagree clearly and still move forward together. That is what we need today. Not perfect agreement, better judgment. Not fast approval, better execution. Not a beautiful slide deck, a working plan. So here is my final point. The bottom line is that we should proceed with the pilot, but we should proceed in stages. We should choose the third market. We should revise the timeline. We should add a risk plan. And we should confirm the support process before launch. If we do that, there is a good chance this pilot will give us useful results. If we do not, we may learn the hard way. I would rather learn carefully. Now, please review the action items after this meeting. Feel free to send comments by email. Let me know whether or not your team can meet the proposed deadline. And if the deadline is not realistic, please say so early. There is no problem with adjusting a plan. There is a problem with pretending everything is fine. Thank you again for your time. I couldn't be happier with the quality of today's discussion. Let's keep the momentum. The pilot is not finished, but it is now much clearer than it was an hour ago.